Crohn's disease. What do you do when your drugs stop working? I had horrible Crohn's disease and I was on biologics and they did nothing for me. I tried them for over 2 years and I've also seen many other people try drugs for years and not get results. But they finally got results when they tried something called German New Medicine, which isn't a pill. It is a philosophy of medicine that's actually based on logic. The creator of it, Dr. Hammer, he could look at someone's brain CT scan and know exactly what symptoms they were suffering from because you could see where each disease had a very specific location in the brain where it was controlled from. And now what he discovered is that there's a conflict shock, put an organ into overdrive to help you overcome a stressful situation in your life. Every organ has a survival purpose. And so the purpose of our small intestines, of our intestines in general, is to help us digest and absorb something important to our survival. Food, water, but it could also be things like money, respect, a boyfriend, a girlfriend, a job, a promotion, a degree, a college exam, a friend, what time, video games, a sport. What is something important to your survival that you need to digest and you need to absorb? And you were in the middle of it, and then it got really difficult and you couldn't digest and absorb it anymore. That is what puts the intestines in and out of overdrive, and it's on the subconscious level. So let me give you an example how a drug can appear to work with something like Crohn's disease. Let's say you have a woman and she is dating somebody, the boyfriend breaks up with her, she can't digest and absorb her boyfriend anymore, her gut starts to develop extra gut cells. If you think I'm crazy, go look at your colonoscopies and your MRIs. It's going to say thickening of the intestinal wall and it's going to say polyps. These extra gut cells are trying to help you digest the boyfriend. Now let's say that boyfriend comes back a couple of months later. Now she's not going to have any symptoms while the boyfriend is gone except for being extremely stressed out. She might be constipated, but when he comes back, the body goes, we no longer need these extra gut cells, and it starts to get rid of them. And now let's say they live together happily ever after. She doesn't have post-traumatic stress syndrome where every time he checks his phone, she's like, who are you texting? You know, she's completely at peace with their relationship and they're going to be together forever, you know, no more conflicts. If someone takes they have the symptoms, they take the drugs, and within a month or two, all those extra gut cells are removed and she doesn't get any symptoms and she remains on that drug, it appears that the drug had healed the Crohn's. Where in reality, what healed the Crohn's was she actually came to peace with the conflict. For me, the drug did absolutely nothing because my conflict was I didn't have enough time to digest and absorb my video games and my other goals. So I was always constantly angry at the things getting in the way of, my time, my goals, and my video games. I couldn't digest these three things. Traffic got in the way, listening to my dumb GI doctor babble on about nothing got in the way, having to drive to my GI doctor, having to sit in the waiting room for an hour just to hear him say something completely stupid and just try to give me another drug wasn't going to do anything. The drug isn't working because it isn't addressing the root cause of the problem. That's not to say that all medicines don't have their place. They can be used wisely, but if you have Crohn's disease and the drug is no longer working, it never worked in the first place, to be completely honest, your conflict is just constantly on and off, causing that cell proliferation and that cell removal to go back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. So if your drug isn't working, it's because it never did. It is because your conflict is so out of control. And so the way that I help people find their conflict and then resolve it and then get rid of its PTSD triggers is with my 13-day protocol. What we do is day by day, we find the traumatic experience that put your gut into overdrive. And then we also find the PTSD triggers. I'm asking you special questions in here. This information is locked inside your subconscious. You might not know it right away, but these questions stimulate your subconscious mind to spit them up over these 13 days, step by step, line by line. I developed this with a hypnotist and an NLP expert. It's slowly digging these things out of your mind. And once we turn that traumatic experience from a traumatic experience into a learned experience, a lifelong lesson, then we're no longer traumatized by it, and we can live our life, and our brain no longer feels the need to put our gut in and out of overdrive, giving us Crohn's disease. So guys, tell me right down in the comments, what was the traumatic experience? What was the conflict shock that put your gut in and out of overdrive? Go write it down below. I answer all of my questions. So guys, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, leave a comment. I'm Mike the Healer Gut Guy. I answer all my comments. Go down below, and I will talk to you in the next one.